So yeah, JP, you think we got any chance against Texas A&M?
I mean, A&M didn't look that impressive either. So I mean, but then again, like I said, it's the first game for everybody. So
It
like I
is.
was watching that game for a while, they didn't look like a team that you know, they didn't look like the Alabama level, like that anybody should be like scared we're gonna get blown off the field or anything.
I'm going to go back and try to watch some of that game tonight, or at least watch the highlights and see what it looks like.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, if I were to compare now, I mean, I would say to me they look like Miami and A&M look like they're on a similar level right now at this point.
Okay. Did you watch any of that game, Slim?
Um, no, I didn't because once I got home, I didn't change it from the Miami game. I mean, I was listening to others, while I was at work this morning, and
I
then
got you.
And stuff like that. But once I got home, I left it on the Miami game, commercials and all. I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. Okay. The A&M game was a little earlier.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what time that game was. It kind of I got sucked in.
That game started early, and then but it got delayed for at least an hour. I know.
Yeah.
Oh right.
For weather.
Yeah, I was watching before the delay. Like what I was watching, like they just look like they look okay. Like I think they were playing against some team from Houston. Was it Sam Houston?
Sam Houston, yeah.
Yeah, Sam Houston's what it was.
And yeah, they just they just didn't look, but like I don't know, they look like they were trying to figure stuff out too.
Yeah, and everybody's at that point right now. So
right,
except for Georgia, I will have to say, as much as I hate to admit it, but Georgia looked really good.
Like I said, what gets me about them is how well Stetson Bennett played. I didn't expect that whatsoever. Dan Lanning's definitely a good defensive coordinator, so I expected him to, have some kind of game plan, how to deal with Stetson Bennett. Because, me looking at it from the outside, I would look at it like, okay, I'm going to put 8 men in the box on every play. I'm going to double cover Brock Bowers on every play and dare Stetson Bennett to beat me outside the numbers.
Right. Terry's got a good Terry Paulus. I'm not exactly sure how you'd say his last name, but he says UNC had a rough time with App State today. That's going to be good to see how Texas A&M does with them next week. A good guide. So does Texas A&M play UNC next week?
No, App State, I think.
No, I think App State. Yeah.
Oh, they play App State. Okay, yeah. They play App State. So I got it.
I mean, App State. I think at this point, App State's pretty much earned their respect over the past 3-4 years. And people. I don't think anybody's disrespecting App State anymore, man. They gave us all we could handle. Was it last year?
Oh man, my wife and we were sitting on Ocean Drive last year during that game at that. There's that little bar right there. I don't know, around 7th, 8th Street. I forget right about where. But so we were sitting there watching that game, live there. And I mean, that place was going insane. It was like, App State, we're going to lose to App State. No. And we finally, we win by a field goal at the last minute or something? That was
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nail biter.
I mean, I get it. App State made their name, beating a top 5 Michigan, but that was 15 years ago. I mean, they're like 3-18 against Power 5 teams since then.
Right, but I'm just saying, in the past, the past 3-4 seasons, even 5 seasons, I would say they've every time they've had a chance, I mean, they've been respectable. Like they've shown they could play with, decent schools in the top.
Yeah, it's definitely not anybody's, so to say, cupcake game. Everybody has to be a bit worried when you're not going to overlook App State.
I'm not saying overlook them at all. And I think Michigan, when that famous game where they beat Michigan in 2007, I mean, Michigan had no business doing it then because, yes, App State was still D2, but they had won like 5 or 6 national championships in a row. So, I mean, Michigan was just completely foolish to do that. And, they kind of fell off there for a little while when they made that jump from D2 up to D1. But, yeah, I mean, I can kind of see your point. There definitely been some games that they probably shouldn't have been in that they have been able to hang in.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's. I would much rather be playing Bethune-Cookman than App State.
Yeah.
any day of the week.
I tell you what, though, UNC's defense giving up 60 to them, that's embarrassing. I thought they embarrassed themselves against Florida A&M, giving up all those yards and 24 points when A&M had like 25 players out, 21 of them were starters, and they still dropped 24 points and over 300 yards of offense on them.
Is App State ranked this year or no?
No, App State's not ranked.
No. Okay.
I don't think they ever have been.
No, I think it was a few years back. I can't remember. So you start getting old and you can't remember if it was 5 years ago or 15. But I thought that one time they did make it up to like 22nd or something in the rankings, something like that. I think, if I remember right.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna start doing college football like how they do the European, like the Premier League, European football, where you got like relegation and you can move up and down between the leagues.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't suggest it, but maybe.
I mean, it'll be kind of interesting.
How do you think what do you think of the little drama that we're gonna have with this Southern Miss game next week, with their starting running back being Frank Gore Jr.?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. Enlighten me on that.
Oh yeah.
Frank Gore's son plays for them. Yeah, he's starting running
Frank
back.
Gore's son is the starting running back for Southern Miss.
Oh, okay.
And now, I come across the one Southern Miss fan on YouTube, because there is only one.
Yeah, Sippy.
Yeah. and he's been claiming all offseason that Frank Gore's kid is going to rush for 200 yards on us.
Sippy claims a lot of stuff. I really like the guy, though. He's always a lot of fun.
He is funny, no doubt.
Southern Miss to the gosh darn top. He's
and you know what? I'm not going to knock a guy for going full tilt for his team, no matter what the team is, even if it's a team like Southern Miss.
Right, exactly. I mean, good for him. Good for Sippy Sports.
That wasn't Dalvin Cook lining up back there. I mean, he's got the last name, but he's definitely not his dad.
Yeah, me personally, I'm not big on legacy players, because Miami's definitely had their problems with legacy players. I remember when Ray Lewis's kid was there and Alonzo Highsmith's kid was there. Michael Irvin's. I think the only one that we've had that's managed to put up numbers was Trajan Bandy.
Right. Yeah. The rest haven't really panned out all that great, as far as I can remember.
Right. We even had I can't remember his first name now. We had Testaverde's kid there, but he never saw the field.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he transferred in from Texas Tech or something.
Yeah, that's been a while back, wasn't it?
Mark Richt was there, I think.
Oh, was it under Rick?
It may have been the tail end of Golden, but I think Mark Richt might have been there for that.
And yeah, Alakazam, I totally agree with you. Miami's not scoring 70 on Texas. But now maybe Texas A&M, we might put up 85 on them. But
you think they're gonna hold out 9 until A&M? Because if it's a hamstring, I know hamstrings are kind of tricky.
They can be, yeah. I mean, if they don't need him, well, my gut instinct is if they don't need him against Southern Miss, don't play him. But I also, do you really want the first action he sees this year to be Texas A&M's defense? Because say what you want about their offense, that's really what looked iffy about them. And that was everybody's question mark about them going into the season. But their defense is legit.
But I think with running backs, I think that's a position where you could kind of throw them, especially if they got game experience, which Knighton has. I think at running back, you could kind of throw them in the fire. I mean, at that position.